Doc, it is Super Bowl week, and something you've
All
talked
right.
about this a lot, and it's something too that I've wanted to touch on for a while. Patrick Mahomes, legendary quarterback,
Yes.
the GOAT, as some would say, a GOAT of the quarterbacks. He's this new breed of athlete, Doc, that are athletically kind of unremarkable. When you look at Mahomes, and the Athletic did a story on this, Patrick Mahomes remains a mesmerizing athlete. His traditional performance metrics, like his 4.8 40-yard dash or his squat max, are unremarkable. But he runs faster on curves than he does in a straight line and is a master at decelerating under control. It's called forecasting momentum. Doc, do we need to change the way we view elite athletes? Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Patrick Mahomes. We need to change the way we view an elite athlete, right?
Yeah, I mean, we really are because of what's going on. You're looking at these guys as different. You look at Mahomes, he has a very short stride. When you lengthen that stride, you can't make vertical changes, horizontal changes as quickly as he can. And that's some of the reason. Like you look at Hurts from Philadelphia, he squats an unbelievable amount of weight. You're looking at what is making the difference, right? You got to have all the regular strength of a quarterback, but now you have to have even what we call the X factor. What's making you stand out? Because every one of these kids that come up right now has a special trainer, has special methods. It's going to be who's got that other thing going on. So when we define what's the other thing, like you're saying, Mahomes, he changes directions. He's got verticals. He's got being able to move his body one direction, throw a different direction. You know, those are huge things. Are you guys getting an echo?
No, we're good.
No.
Good, because I'm hearing myself twice. Maybe it's this old restaurant we're in. But yeah, what are you looking at? I mean, we're looking at when we're training young players, like right now, especially for football, when they're getting paid to go to college, they're going to start developing other skill levels. So you're not looking at the traditional Joe Namath or Bart Starr, where they were just big and bulky and could, deliver the ball. You're looking at guys that have extra speed. I mean, Hutchinson's a great example. I mean, I make a lot of fun of him, but the guy, he was a true dancer that changed his fast twitch fibers, and his agility was much different. That's why cross training is so important right now. Is that kind of what you're looking for?
Yeah, but is there something, Doc, like if you go to all more of elite players, or you wonder, like a lot of times you wonder, how is that guy, right? How is he elite? Because he looks either like the ones that are specimens, a lot of times you can appreciate, but then you get into, he's too fit because, he's enabled himself because he's so big that he's got no flexibility, gets injured that way. What I'm saying is that, is there every athlete has this little thing, because we're always told that they do something better than 99.9%. Is it come down to not more like that physical aspect, but it's that little intricacy of what they can do, like on the ice? Is it what makes Sergei Fedorov and like that elite level, because they can, get off the puck or off their skates as fast as anybody else? Like, is this what the elite athletes? Whereas in the past, we'd have to look at him and go, well, he doesn't look like a quarterback. He doesn't look like a skater.
That's
or
how
something.
it used to be.
As I'm thinking about this, I'm looking at, you're bringing up these guys. I'm thinking like Brett Hull. Brett Hull was not a specimen. Brett Hull, but you know what? The one thing that he could do is put his eye to the bottom of his stick and one time a puck from anywhere at any time at any elite level. So is this a regular trait through all these sort of like elite? And we're talking about Hall of Fame guys. We're not talking about us grindliners or whatever. We're talking about the elite of the elite. But it's not physical with your eye. It's more of what you're talking about, that they have this thing.
Yeah, I mean, your teammate, Pavel Datsyuk, is probably the best example of that. I mean, you brought up Brett Hall, but you also forgot he had so much strength within his forearms to create that shot. He had tremendous forearms and strength in his hands that made the shots different. That quick, Ovechkin, same kind of thing. Why is he still putting the puck in the net? Because of his forearms, because of his fast twitch, because how fast he can react, how fast his brain is reacting to that puck and the touch. You'll see we have abilities to download the video of these guys watching how quick they're releasing, what they're doing differently. I mean, Pavel, we have to slow it down to understand what he even did half the time. I mean, you're talking about elite athletes. The level of athletes are just elevating at all levels. I mean, look at the new quarterback for U of M. This kid is a human specimen, but he's also got a skill level higher than everybody else at his level. You look at LeBron. LeBron was 30 coming into as an 18-year-old. I mean, it's just there's gifted genetics, but there's also gifted. I don't want to get too technical, but your neurological system, from your brain to your reaction times, is huge. When we start doing real special testing, when we're getting down to their cognitive, their balance, we're looking at their reaction times. And reaction times have proven to make a difference in athletes. So I'll give it a rest there.
Now, Dr. Pierce joining us here, our injury insider, live from Israel, as a matter of fact. People talking about the lamb chop. They said it looked pretty darn good in the shot as well. And shout out to the London Chop House for sure. London Chop House getting a lot of love in the chat also. One other thing for you, Doc, before we let you go. Luka Doncic has been in the news, obviously, because he was traded. And people were talking about his weight and was the conditioning an issue and all that kind of stuff. Doncic was quoted in this story, too, from The Athletic. Or no, he wasn't quoted. He was talked about in this story. Talked about how he started testing out when he was a teenager and did not grade out well in traditional performance metrics. But he did have one superpower. He was in the 92nd percentile in eccentric force, which translates to the simple act of going full speed and then stopping. And when you look at it, because he is not physically gifted, Nikola Jokic has a 17-inch vertical, 17 inches. I'm pretty sure mine is higher than that. When you get into all this, Doc, like it's amazing that the start, it doesn't matter anymore, does it, Doc? Because science is going to find you. If you're an elite athlete and has an elite trait, science will find you.
Yeah, but you want to take that, but don't put it in a little bubble, okay? He's got great eccentric stopping power, but you don't realize how many shots he took. I don't care if he can stop on a dime and reverse like those special horses. If he can't put the ball in the hoop after that happens, that's what's the key. Yeah, he has that ability. He's not moving that fast. He's not a quick athlete. He just has that change of direction quickly. But don't shortcut that guy has shot an amazing amount of basketball shots to put the ball in the hoop also. Like he can get the defender off of him. He's still got to make that shot. I mean, look at my great friend George Gervin. What was his skill? His skill was able to weave through people and drop the finger roll. I mean, all these guys have a will. You got to understand, he had a will to create a difference. Our best friend for Darren and I, Chris Draper. Chris Draper worked harder than anybody. When you look at elite athletes and you track what their life was like growing up, these guys had a tremendous amount of will. It's a lot of will. It's a lot of work. Kobe, how many shots did he take? Even if you go back to the early days of LeBron James, I'll tell you, I sat with a lot of alumni watching LeBron James criticizing his shot. Those guys do not criticize his shot. These guys work. You've got to give them credit. They're elite athletes that work their butts off. Mac that sits there, Mac has some gifted traits. He was a grinder and all that, but he worked so hard. Every professional athlete, when they say, oh, you think they're different, they put their pants on the same way? No way. These guys work 100 times at their craft to become that X factor. So for any young athlete, you better be gifted genetically. Your willpower better be there, but you got to put in the work. You got to put on the work when nobody's watching. And, Dante, you're picking on him right now that he's slow. He knew he was slow. He knew he didn't have that speed. He found other ways to make it to the NBA and make a difference. And that's just hard work.
All right, Doc.
That
as
doesn't
always,
change over decades.
Doc, as always, we appreciate the time. So next week, people want to talk about Myles Garrett's feet next week. So be ready, okay? They do. They do. In a medical medical way. Okay. In a medical way.
All right, you guys know I hate feet, so I'll read up on it.
Yeah, you're not Rex Ryan.
But yeah, I want you to see my group. Oh.
Yeah, we got you.
My group of guys here that are in Israel.
Shout out the lamb chops.
You're with the military. The lamb chops. All good guys. We're trying to make a difference out here.
I love it.
We'll talk about it over cigars and lamb chops down at the London Broil when you get back.
I like it.
That's it. Just call London Chop House. Mention Woodward.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on Expert Sports Injury Insight with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that I trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.